And let's do this, America. Yeah, that's right. I am back. This is Dr. Mike Sevilla, and it is Sunday, March 8, 2015. It is 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and really looking forward to this chat that we're having here today. And my guest, live on video. I'm very excited about this. Our good friend, Kyle Hoedebecke. I said that right. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir. Kyle Hoedebecke.
And we'll be talking about a lot of stuff, but thank you so much for the time this afternoon, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
So let's just kind of jump right into things because I am just slowly learning about this hugely active family medicine community around the world, which is very cool that I'm just learning about. I admitted to Kyle that I am in my United States-centric viewpoint, and I admit that, so I'm trying to learn more. So my first question about for you, Kyle, is a lot of my colleagues here in the United States, have heard of WONCA, have heard of WONCA Polaris. When you talk to people who are not familiar with this international family medicine community, what do you tell them about WONCA?
Sure. So WONCA as a whole is the World Organization of Family Doctors. It is a little bit of a funny name, but as the WONCA president likes to put it, people remember those names, so you're not going to forget it. Basically, it is an organization of organizations. It's our global community of family physicians as well as general practitioners for those countries that don't have family medicine itself. And it does a lot of things that AAFP does, but on a global level. So it promotes academics, scholarship, exchange, best practices, but all on a global level rather than just on a national level.
Cool. Well, and I already messed up the interview. Because I always ask people about family medicine, their love of family medicine. So, Kyle, why family medicine? Why do you love family medicine? Why should everybody love our specialty?
Awesome, great question. So I myself was not the biggest fan of family medicine off the bat. I originally thought I wanted to be an orthopedic physician, but after doing that rotation, I couldn't stand just being in a surgical suite. That wasn't for me. I want to get out, talk to people, and interact, and that wasn't happening on ortho as much as I like the surgeries themselves. So I just randomly, like most medical students, just went into my family medicine rotation as a medical student, and just absolutely fell in love with it, to tell you the truth. The breadth of what we do, the impact that we can have if we do our job correctly is amazing and unparalleled. Additionally, it's not just the medical aspect that I like, that's never boring at all for me, but also the opportunities for research, the opportunities for leadership, exchange. We do our jobs anywhere we are, so I really enjoyed that aspect and able to collaborate with folks around the world. So that's why I really enjoyed family medicine. Also, down the line, I also looked at what is my big goal in life, and I want to make an impact. And I think that family medicine is the best way to do that, both here in the U.S. as well as down in South America, where my wife's from, and I have my second home there.
Wow. Okay. So where did you go to medical school and residency, and where'd you get your training?
Sure. So I went to the Uniformed Services University, which is the only active duty military medical school here in the U.S., and that is in Bethesda, Maryland. So I did my 4 years there. Then I went to another military residency, which is pretty much standard for military docs, at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where I'm actually currently stationed right now as a junior staff. You might hear a couple of booms in the background, and there's some military training going on.
So don't be alarmed if we hear stuff in the background. You're fine. It's just training exercises.
Just training exercises, but that comes with being in the military. And again, family medicine is also uniquely valuable to the military on that aspect, because we have that big overall view of not only what's good for our patients, but the soldiers with whom we work. So we can help advise our commanders when they're making decisions, when they don't have that medical knowledge and that medical background.
And you said you have a second home. Where is that at?
Yeah. So my wife is from Paraguay, which is the heart of South America. It's the country, little landlocked country right in the middle, only about 6 to 7 million people. But I met her when I did an exchange back in undergrad, and I was trying to improve my Spanish, become more worldly. I thought my Spanish was okay, but it was quite horrible, and she helped me along little by little. I came back to the U.S., did a long-distance relationship for a couple years, and then we ended up getting married just after my graduation from the military academy in 2006, and now we have 2 beautiful little girls, and are very happy. They're actually down in South America, and I'll be seeing them momentarily. They're visiting family there, and I'll see them after a conference that's coming up.
Wow. Okay. So I guess are you kind of deployed there now? I mean, do you have a certain time frame where you're there in that Fort Bragg area, or are you permanently stationed there?
Oh, it's definitely not a permanent station, but we usually will move around every 3 to 4 years. So I did my residency here for the 3 years, and just happened to get a job also co-located here at Fort Bragg. I just worked down the street from where I did my residency.
Cool. So how did you first learn about WONCA? How did you first learn about international family medicine?
It's a funny story. So I was just flipping through a family medicine medical journal about 2 years ago, and one of the articles at the very end said, as presented at the WONCA World Conference, Cancun, 2010, I believe was the year. I said, how do I go to that? That sounds awesome. I've never heard of WONCA before, and so I looked into it, and this was 2012. So I put in WONCA, okay, popped up, read about it. Oh, this seems pretty cool, right up my alley. And in 2013, they only do a global conference every 3 years, so they were prepping for the 2013 conference with the call for abstracts and research projects. So I submitted a couple things, got lucky enough to have a couple picked up, and I said, I'm going to Prague, I'm going to present and see what this is all about. I really had no big expectations, but when I got there, so it was in Europe, and the host of the junior physicians portion, the equivalent of Polaris, is called Vasco da Gama. And I was fortunate enough to hang out and learn what they do and get involved a little bit. And I wanted more. I left wanting more, but that's specifically for Europe, and we're in North America. So I said, oh, what can we do in North America? Well, we don't really do anything as far as junior physician movements go, and WONCA is pretty limited as well. I said, well, that's not good enough for me. So that might be getting into a future question, like what is WONCA Polaris? That's only existed.
We'll just flow into that. So yeah.
Flow into that. So that's only existed officially for about 10 months now. So again.
So did you just go to the WONCA people and say, hey, the North America, group, we need a group, and you started it? Is that how it started?
I wish it were that simple. So WONCA North America consists of Canada, the U.S., and the Caribbean. So it's a little bit different than our geographical North America, which includes Mexico as well. So as far as WONCA North America goes, we exist, but because we do, admittedly, we have very strong conferences between AAFP, STFM, and you can go on and on and on. So there is a lot of already good conferences here, and people be like, well, why would we want to get involved in anything else? Okay, that's fair enough as far as the conferences go. There's so much more beyond that, especially for the junior physicians. So for me, it's very important to get people in early, get them excited early, so they can go into our profession. And we do have some things to help in that arena, but we're really missing in my opinion, the global health as well as the WONCA aspect. So there was an initial intent to start something similar to Polaris back in 2010. Just didn't seem to have the right people support as well as just timing. So that kind of puttered out. This is before my time. And then in 2013, after the global conference in Prague, that's when I learned about all this and really pushed from my point of view to get our three colleges together. And we have worked pretty closely with the Canadians in the Caribbean before, but to really get this into a concrete entity and get it started so we can move on from here. So basically, the powers to be between our three organizations did support us, did want this to happen, and it just happened. Maybe I served as a catalyst, or I don't know what happened, but it was the right time. So
it was you, Kyle. That kind of drove this thing forward. I mean, it's because I just started seeing things pop up, and I'm like, oh, who is this guy, and what is this all about, and when people ask you, Kyle, global health, why should anybody, or why should physicians care about the topic of global health in general?
Awesome. So a lot of people assume that you have to be interested in working outside the U.S. or that type of interest to do that. That's not the case. I strongly 100% agree and support junior physicians as well as residents and medical students to go overseas, experience their system, their practices, because you know what? We don't do everything 100% right every single time, and other people may have a better way of doing something that we haven't thought of. So it's sharing best practices for one. Two, it's just having that experience, because as we are developing into the doctors we want to be and how we're going to practice, we do that when we're young, and then we become set in our ways. So I believe it's so important to do that in this age cohort of junior physicians, residents, and students, and that's why I think that Polaris is so important.
So I'm just starting to learn about these different groups. So I guess these WONCA movements are different groups in different geographic areas, and you did mention the European group. Is that the Vasco da Gama movement? Is that what that is?
Exactly. That's exactly what that is. So WONCA has 7 regions around the world. The first, YDM, or Young Doctor Movement.
I saw that on Twitter, and I was trying to figure out what that was.
It's a Young Doctor Movement, and there are various ways of saying it, but that's just the short way, YDM, for Twitter folks. That started 10 years ago, just over 10 years ago now, in Europe as a grassroots movement, gained a lot of support, a lot of success, and then little by little, other regions said, "Hey, they have something going. We need to do that too." And I don't know what took our region so long here in North America, but we were until May, we were the only region to not have one, and
wow.
we had so much potential and so much to offer that that had to happen. We needed to have something happen. So there are 7 in total. And we meet, each region has a chair, and we meet every couple of months in order to see what's going on, how can we support each other, and everything family medicine related. We'll actually all be meeting in person for the first time in Istanbul in October. So I'm really looking forward to that.
So that Istanbul conference, is that a WONCA global conference, or is that just for the movement groups, or who is that for?
The one in Istanbul is specifically to Europe, but the funding and everything turned out correctly so that we could get all 7 regions represented in one location. And because Europe has one of the stronger, if not strongest, WONCA movements, it was decided to go to that one.
Wow, that's cool. Now, you're going to be going out of town soon. What conference are you going to be going out of town to?
Sure. Next week, I will be headed down to Montevideo, Uruguay. So the same place where Montevideo units came from. and we will be helping with the pre-conference as well as the regular conference for the WONCA Ibero-American group. So that includes Latin America as well as Spain and Portugal. So it's Spanish and Portuguese-speaking countries.
Ah, okay. Now, are you going to be presenting there? Are you just attending, or what is your role there?
Sure. So myself and another junior physician who works out of Texas, Maria Colon, we're both on the planning committee for the pre-conference. So that has been something that we asked to be a part of in order to help them, but also to get experience for Polaris's first pre-conference, we can talk about in a little bit. I will also be, so we're actually moderators during the entire day pre-conference, and then there's 3 days of conference, regular standard conference thereafter, where we will be presenting in Spanish mostly.
Wow, okay. And that, so I presume the pre-conference is 1 day, and then the conference is, what, 3 or 4 days after that?
Exactly. So the pre-conference is basically a 1-day forum for our cohort of junior physicians, residents, medical students, where we definitely serves to get people in the pipeline as recruitment, and it's just a great, innovative experience.
So what is a young physician? I presume
Sure.
I'm an old physician now, probably. What is he? How do you guys classify that?
Sure. So in general for WONCA, people within 5 years of their family physician training, so for us, residency, residents themselves, and then we went out of our way to include medical students as well, whereas some other locations do not include medical students because of the different ways that people enter into family medicine.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and let's talk about the pre-conference that's going to be happening in this country for Polaris. So it's going to be in October, and what else can you tell us about that?
Sure. So it's going to be October 1st in Denver, Colorado, and again, this is an international event. So specifically representing us here in the U.S., Canada, and our Caribbean colleagues, all of the cohort of Polaris. Additionally, we have a handful of junior physicians from outside of Polaris who are helping us out and collaborating as well. So we like having their input as well in order to see what sort of things we can touch on. So it's a one-day event right now, and specifically we will be touching on exchange opportunities, scholarly activity opportunities, and ways to get people involved, networking within our region as well as outside, and then leadership opportunities as well. And these aspects were based on a poll we did to see what sort of things people were interested in hearing about, learning about, and being involved in during the pre-conference.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Sorry for the pause. It's in conjunction with the AAFP Global Health Conference. That's directly after that, same location. So we're working in conjunction with them as well. It'll be a great opportunity to go to both events.
And yeah, so if people are interested in it, how can they get more information, or even how can they get even more information about WONCA Polaris in general?
Sure. So most of our activity is on our Facebook forum. So you can just do a search for WONCA with a C, WONCA Polaris, and that will pop up. It's the only group there. Additionally, if you put that into Google, WONCA Polaris, you will see our pages that are affiliated with both AAFP as well as WONCA, WONCA the whole itself. So WONCA Polaris will pop up several times.
And that's a very active, because of you, Kyle, the very active Facebook listing. and there's always people chatting there, leaving information, always good dialogue. Pretty active group. I've been pretty impressed with a lot of the stuff that I've been seeing there. So I definitely encourage people to kind of check it out and join the group and join the conversation. So it's been very cool, kind of watching that kind of grow.
Thank you. And another aspect that I like about the Facebook group is it's not only people from within Polaris, but it's actually served as a beacon for other family physicians around the globe to put in their voice as well. So you'll see people from Tunisia, from Switzerland, from Greece, Colombia, Argentina, you name it. They're going to the Polaris site because they're seeing how active it is and how innovative it is, and I've been really proud of that.
And you guys have cool shirts, and you have other great marketing paraphernalia that you guys have, right?
There's our U.S. shirt. Can you see?
All right, yeah.
With the Statue of Liberty, of course, and then we have our lovely Polaris flip-flops that I have on right now.
That's right. Yeah, taking a walk for global health. I mean, that's good.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and we should talk about. And you did show the shirt there. It's been, especially in family medicine circles, this hashtag one word for family medicine. I'm giving you credit for that, Kyle, but can you tell us a little bit about that, or did someone else come up with that? What's the story with that?
Sure. So it started off about last September, 2014. My wife was pregnant, and I was hoping to go to the AAFP Global Health Conference, but they're about the same time, so I couldn't make it to the conference, but still wanted to participate online. So the initial project or initial question was just, how do you say family medicine in your native tongue? So we got an outpouring of tons of responses from around, not just at the conference, but around the world. And we put that together, and with a Spanish colleague of mine, we actually made, this is one of the maps we made, and sorry, there's a little bit of glass reflection. I don't know if
that's very cool. And for people who don't know, that is the journal. I think put that back up there, Kyle.
One second, let me pull it out of here. Get the glass effect off.
That's the journal of the Society of Teachers of Family Medicine, the Family Medicine academic group, and that was the cover right there.
Sorry, it's a little bit reflective. I don't know if that's better. There you go. It's a little bit better, it looks like.
Yeah, it's very cool. What month is that?
That was came out in October of last year. Cool. So people are really excited about getting involved and seeing on the map, oh, that was my input. That was what I said. And people really took that project to heart and supported it. And I said, well, what other projects can we do to support family medicine around the world? In preparation for a conference that was occurring in Peru, I asked my Peruvian friends, well, what's your favorite part about our specialty? What's your favorite part about family medicine? And would you believe it? They had, I think it was about 160 responses within 48 to 72 hours.
Wow.
It was pretty impressive. And so what I did is took that image, that list of words, and turned it into an image for them, so that they could use that during their conference. I said, hey, we might have something here. This is something that they really rallied around as Peruvians to feel like they have more support for their family medicine, and something that they can see and touch and look at, and it looked nice. So I said, hey, well, let's try this in other locations. And basically, we've gone from one country to another, to another, to another, and at this time, we have about 30 countries with over 40 images on 5 continents. So we're making the rounds, and it's not stopping anytime soon.
That's just amazing. I guess a geek question. I mean,
Sure.
do you have training in visual design, or I mean, how did you graphically kind of put those together?
Sure. I I have no formal training in visual design or anything. Just whatever God gave me. So I take the list, and then basically there's a couple different word cloud generators that you can use, but you still have to have some sort of image to base it off of. So just between discussions with uh, the international colleagues and cohorts with whom we're working, I get suggestions on what they want. Sometimes the images are a little too complex because these are just words, so you can't have too complex of an image or it won't turn out well. But I get and see what does that community really enjoy, what really symbolizes them, and then I try to take that and make the words clouds in that image.
And how did you get the feedback? Was it through Facebook? Was it through Twitter? Was it through email? How did you get all the information?
I've all of the above. Most of it through Facebook, but then Twitter and email as well. I try to do everything on social media to show how social media can affect us as physicians and how we can use it to empower us. So I really like doing it on social media rather than behind closed doors. I want everyone to see what we're doing.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. And that's kind of how I've seen this, this community, not just Polaris, but this international community, just everybody networking and the use of hashtags and pictures and images at conferences is very powerful. And it's cool, kind of seeing other people around the world as passionate as I am or as passionate as we are. Talking about it and sharing it, and it's been very gratifying and very cool for me to say, oh, there's all these other people around the world that feel passionately about primary care, passionately about family medicine, and they're sharing it with everyone else and sharing it through social media. It's been very fun to watch.
Wonderful. We're glad to have you and everyone who wants to participate. For me personally, these projects and engagements with our international colleagues have served not just as a work relationship, but many have become friends and some as close as family. So they've been there and served to help me as far as prevent burnout as well as improve my resiliency both at home and at work.
You bring up a great point there because, especially in the last few months, I've seen, at least in this country, a huge discussion about physician burnout. Is that similar, internationally as well, or are we more stressed out here in the United States than in other places in the world?
The more I talk to people from different places, the more I find how similar we are as far as on the professional front. We all have our little differences, but again, we face a lot of the same challenges. But burnout is a huge issue, not just here in the U.S., but internationally, and that is actually one of the next topics I'm really hoping to engage is involvement in these young doctor movements like Polaris and prevention of burnout / improvement of resiliency.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So I guess as we're kind of closing up our conversation, Kyle, I mean, what do you kind of see, or what do you envision? What do you hope for WONCA Polaris? 2015 this year.
Sure. So for this year, we're still stabilizing and completing our foundation. So we're not even a year old yet. We'll be celebrating 1 year again on Global Family Doctor Day, May 19th. So that's going to be a big event for us. But what I see is continuation of development of a lot of the projects as well as initiatives that we've started to date, not just here in North America, but with our international colleagues as well. I've really enjoyed seeing how Polaris has brought our three regions together as far as Canada, the U.S., and the Caribbean, but also those from all around the world are uniting in a way I've never seen before. and have been getting really good feedback on that. Some of the other things you expect to see this year, so continuation with our One Word for Family Medicine project. Just got approval from the WONCA executive itself to get started with a pilot program that was developed here in North America with our Polaris team. It's called Aspire, ASPIRE, and that is a mnemonic, stands for academics, students, pre-conferences, international collaboration, research and residence for the R's, and exchanges. It's a pilot global medical leadership certification, and we can get more information on that down the line. I don't want to get into too much in the mud, but that is something that is a passion of mine, leadership within medicine, and looking forward to promote that not just here but around the world. Other things, Global Family Medicine Journal Club, our pre-conference in Denver, from my understanding, is the only international conference in North America put on by and for junior physicians, residents, and students, with the grateful support of AAFP, the CFPC, and CCFP, and maybe a couple extra things down the line. We'll see.
I do want to give a big shout out to a Twitter chat that I've been trying to get into. I just keep forgetting about it. Can you tell me who the FM changemakers are?
FM changemakers. Sure. So that was a group originally was the Vasco da Gama changemakers, because it originated in Europe, but as it's grown and grown, decided to make it FM changemakers to be more inclusive of all regions of the world, and promote folks like you and me and whoever is interested to get involved. But basically, on the first and third weekends of every month, we have a tweet chat for an hour, and it's pretty amazing to not only collaborate but to get these ideas out there that other people have as far as whatever the topic is. We have a specific topic and a moderator for that day. So the last one I was just involved in last weekend, they were looking at practice improvement. So it's something that we have more time dealing with here in the U.S. compared to our international colleagues. So I felt like I was really able to contribute to their understanding of how they can implement that in their practice or residency.
Yeah, it's cool. I have the hashtag on my little hashtag monitor machine, and I believe that it is the first and third Sunday. I think it's 6 p.m. GMT, I believe, and I think with our daylight savings time, I believe that'll probably be 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock Eastern Standard
Time. Yeah. So, so for all you people out there, I'm really going to try to be there first and third Sundays, and I've been kind of scrolling through to see what people are talking about, and it seems like it's a small but growing, but very passionate group about family medicine. So, and I've been reading about this Vasco da Gama group. I didn't know that they were so well organized and well developed, and I definitely want to learn more about them, because they seem like they're very active on social media and they're doing a lot of great stuff.
Definitely, they're the most active on social media at this point as a whole, but Polaris is slowly but surely catching up.
We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them. No, we're on the same team.
It's definitely not a competition, but more working together.
No,
so I love my colleagues in Europe, and we do have some banter going back and forth, but it's all in good fun.
No, yeah, I want to get into the banter, because it seems like they're a great group of people. And finally, and you did touch on it, and I think that we should do something huge for this is World Family Doctor Day on May 19th, and it's a day that really kind of like sneaks up on me every year, and I think, especially here in the United States, we should do something about it. We should tweet about it. We should do whatever we need to do on social media about it, because I think that it's very, very important. Do you know anything of the origins of that? I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the WONCA website about how it kind of came about, but did anything that WONCA Polaris could be doing for that? I mean,
Sure.
certainly can help with that. But I'll just let you have some. I'm getting tired here. I'm sorry. World Family Doctor Day. Go ahead.
I'm not as aware of the origins, so I can't comment on that. However, we do have some good plans coming up, and the more we know about it and don't let it sneak up on us, the better we can participate. So it will be the 1-year anniversary for Polaris, and I will definitely be ordering a cake and sharing it to you all digitally. Online. As far as things that we can do as a whole, just anything that will that shows support for family medicine. Since it's Global Family Doctor Day, and we have this project going on with the One Word for Family Medicine, something that I'm really looking forward and want to promote is or suggest is that each person who wants to support us on that day can use the image for their country and use it as their profile image for that day or week or however they want to do it. And then if we can get everyone involved around the world to use their image as well, you will have a nice menagerie of beautiful family medicine images that support us on that day.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'd like to see that. So yeah, I mean, everybody, especially in the circles that I run in on social media, I'll be helping to promote that, and that'd be cool in the middle of May to kind of do that, because I know the last couple of years it sneaks up on me, sneaks up on a lot of other people, and I think we could definitely be planned out better and to get that message out on that one day, because it is World Family Doctor Day, and that'd be cool to see. So hopefully we can work together and we can wake up our colleagues out there and to help promote our specialty.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to it.
So Kyle, before I let you go, how can people, I know you mentioned already, but how can people find out more about you, find out about WONCA Polaris, and any other information that you'd like to share with the audience?
Oh, wonderful. Well, this is definitely not about me. It's about Polaris and promoting family medicine. So anything, so ways people can go ahead and find out and get more information. Google search WONCA. WONCA Polaris, it will pop up. It'll go straight to the WONCA Polaris page. Get onto Facebook, type in WONCA Polaris. Our group will pop up. Just join it. No cost or anything. You are as involved as you want to be or don't want to be. It's up to you. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. Those who want to help, as well as attend the pre-conference in Denver, so in October. That will be, again, in conjunction with Global Health and right after FMX as well. So it'd be a great time to get people there for the pre-conference as well as the other conferences. And you can just email us on the WONCA Polaris page. There's an official email there, or you could just write us on the Facebook forum and we'll get a hold of you. It's pretty informal.
I could mute myself there. So closing thoughts here, Kyle. So about WONCA Polaris, why should everybody, just join WONCA Polaris? Why should people be interested in it and help join the movement?
Definitely. So you don't have to be a junior physician to follow us and get involved and join. It is aimed at that cohort, but we also rely on those who are young at heart in order to guide us, mentor us, and lead us in the right direction as well. We should get involved because we learn most of the family medicine in the manner that we're going to practice when we're in this young cohort. So it's important for us to get involved, get traveling, visiting other locations, and experiencing new and different ideas, so that we can take the best ones and apply them to our own practice here at home. So for those who want to make family medicine better, who want to collaborate, who want to innovate, who wants to be a leader, this is a great route to do that.
Kyle Hoedebecke, thank you so much for being here. Just to let people know, I mean, other than Twitter and Facebook, this is like the first time we have talked, and it's been very cool. And just like you said, you meet very cool people over social media. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person one of these days coming up soon. Thank you so much for the time, and WONCA Polaris. Everybody should just join there. So thanks, Kyle.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
All right, kids. So please, share this video with your friends out there. We want to really generate a lot of buzz out there, a lot of good information and out there about WONCA Polaris and everything. So we'll talk to you all very soon. You can check me out, DrMikeSevilla.com. So bye, everybody.